Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about a little bit about stress reactivity, and then I'm going to walk you through an eating trigger meditation and discussion. So I just want to summarize some of the concepts that we've talked about earlier in this course, specifically about the fight or flight response. So as an example, a stress reaction to some event may start with just a thought, something like, I can't cope with this. This is really stressing me out. An emotion will follow, for example, anxiety. You may also find that there's some physical sensations or symptoms, such as your heart racing as the anxiety increases, and you may say something to yourself like, oh my gosh, I feel like this is really making me anxious, which just further escalates the reactivity. This anxiety can also intensify the thoughts, and then the thoughts become exaggerated. So you may think, this is totally impossible, I can't cope, I can't deal with this is horrible. And you may even begin to imagine a terrible outcome. And when such a cycle gets going, we tend to react as if the imagined negative outcome was really true and was happening right now, as if you're like really running from a lion or something like that. So we imagine ourselves in this horrible situation in the future, and our emotions react as if we're in the future, even though this probably will never occur. So depending on how you specifically react to stressors, you may see and feel some of these exact symptoms. But there's a biological reason for this cycle, and that's important to know. So for example, the panic reactions tend to swamp our ability to think more logically. So in other words, the lower or more survival-related parts of our brain inhibit or interfere with the functioning of the higher or wiser parts of our brain, which is our prefrontal cortex, our executive functioning. And it's in one way that our bodies make sure that a stressful event, especially a threat, gets our full attention. So this reactivity, however, becomes a self-reinforcing feedback loop. The thought, remember, creates an emotion, which has a physiological form, such as sweating palms, increased heart rate, and recognition of, oh my goodness, I'm sweating, oh my gosh, my heart's beating fast, can actually further exaggerate this thought, which heightens the emotion, and then the cycle continues and continues. And this cycle increases without any additional input from the stressful event that has just occurred, and the anxiety builds and sometimes can even escalate to a sense of panic. Now, reactions in the body's nervous system then may sustain an actual stress reaction. Adrenaline, insulin, cortisol, all of these stress hormones are produced and they increase anxiety and reactivity. The cortisol, which affects actually your mood, can also affect your appetite and many other parts of our body for hours. And sometimes during this process, sometimes early, sometimes later, there's an urge that emerges with a way to find out, a way to not find out, a way to get out of that situation. And one way that we cope with those feelings, this intense urge to get out of that stress reaction, maybe through eating, through drinking, through other way of distracting, comforting, numbing out, or making ourselves feel better. So mindfulness can actually interrupt this part of the chain, creating a sense of control and balance. And this is why we've been just doing so much work around meditation, mindfulness. So the meditation that we're going to do now is an eating triggers meditation. And what this is intended to do is to help you use mindfulness to further explore experiences and feelings related to times of overeating. So the experience is to identify the thoughts, emotions, physical reactions, and behaviors, as well as the way that they affect one another. So please take a minute to close your eyes and sit with a straight, easy posture. Find a position that allows gravity to gently maintain your proper posture. Allow your hands to fall comfortably in your lap. and simply allow your body to become still. Allow your shoulders, your chest, and your stomach to relax. Allow your attention to be focused on your breath and away from the noise, the thoughts, the feelings, and the concerns that may usually fill your mind. Now imagine yourself during a typical day. This day is like any other, except that on this particular day, you will overeat. Now, remaining detached, as if you were an objective observer, watch the events unfold as they lead up to overeating. Do not picture yourself eating compulsively, but instead notice what happened before you ate, in the time leading up to it, but perhaps before you realized that you would overeat. Notice what took place. Notice the time of day. Notice your surroundings. Notice the circumstances. Are you alone or with other people? Did seeing or thinking about a certain food have an effect? What were you thinking about? Notice your conscious thoughts as well as the ones you may have ignored. How are you feeling? How did the feelings change as you came closer and closer to overeating? Were you experiencing a sense of deprivation, either physically or emotionally? And now become aware of one thing that you might do differently. If you find yourself becoming overwhelmed or discouraged as you experience this, let go and return your breath. Return to your breath. And being a detached, objective observer. You are learning valuable and important things about yourself right now. And this awareness will help you to take control of your life. As you continue to breathe fully and comfortably, return to watching the events, thoughts, and feelings that occurred as you came closer to overeating. Can you visualize one particular thing that led to this? Or maybe it was several things. Again, just be aware and perhaps make a mental note of these possible triggers that can lead you to overeat. Now let go of that place and time, and let yourself refocus on your breath. Let go of the tension that may have come up in your body. Let yourself relax and breathe. And now again, let your mind relax and let go. Let everything you are thinking about or picturing fall away as you return your attention to your breathing, secure in the knowledge that you're using mindfulness to understand yourself and your eating patterns. Secure in the knowledge that you are putting together the pieces of a puzzle that will lead you to take greater control of your life and of eating. Simply ride with the flow of breath, feeling it move in and out, freely shifting with a gentle, natural rhythm. Now bring your attention back to the space of this room. And when you are ready, open your eyes. In the discussion section below, I would love to explore the effect of this awareness on your imagined reactions. And I want to give you an opportunity to discuss these reactions of course, in a supportive environment. A lot of common things that will come up as triggers for overeating include a reaction to stress, a way of having some sort of control in your life, a reaction to feeling badly about yourself, or simply a food cue like the piece of cake on the plate on your screen. Now, it's normal for people to eat for comfort. This is something that you've learned time and time again since you were very, very little, that food can make you feel better. But having alternative ways to gain comfort is also very important. So in the discussion section below, let me know, how else can you handle uncomfortable feelings? So take a minute to put that in the discussion section below, and feel free to comment on other people's comments as well. I hope you found this exercise to be helpful, and I'll see you in the next lecture.